to say thank you guys for all the support that you guys have been offering on the channel. You guys absolutely crushed it in yesterday's video where we done a I'm convinced video on it. Those type of videos I actually like making. I actually like, you know, diving into players and actually trying to make a build similar to the way that they play the game, or similar to kind of like their play style. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate all the support on the Clay Thompson video, and it made me want to make another one that's honestly almost similar, maybe to not you know, the certain degree. Y'all see what I'm talking about, okay? In today's video, we're gonna be making Mikal Bridges, okay? If you guys don't know who Mikal Bridges is, this man, this one guy, literally locked up Stephen Curry, okay? When I say he locked Stephen Curry up in the first game where Phoenix played against Golden State and Devin Booker went out, Mikal Bridges took on the responsibility of guarding Steph Curry, and I think he held him to like 12 or 14 points, and Curry shot really, really bad from the field. No one has ever played such that good a defense on Curry to where this man literally, he couldn't do anything. Mikal Bridges is like one of the best defenders in the league. I'm honestly, I would be surprised if he didn't make an all-defensive team. But regardless of that, Mikal Bridges, small forward, right-handed, jersey number 25. Okay, moving on. Sorry for the introduction. A lot of y'all don't know who Mikal Bridges is, but y'all know who he is now. The man literally dislocated his finger, had it taped up, and came right back into that second matchup against Golden State and guarded him for the rest of the game until obviously Monty Williams took him out. So, the pie chart we want to choose today is the two-way sharp pie chart, okay? Now, I know what y'all are thinking, oh my god, you know, Mikal Bridges, he's not no two-way sharp. Actually, he's a 3-and-D wing, okay? But, obviously, you know, we can't make 3-and-D wings in 2K, you know, blase, whatever, right? We got a person watching the video, what's up? Appreciate y'all stopping by. But listen, you can either go one or two ways with this build, okay? And I'm going to show you both ways. Depending on the type of person you are, you'll make the build tailored to how you want to make him, okay? So, you want to choose the first physical profile. I always like having speed on my players because I normally make my players taller, okay? So now, you want to max out close shot, driving layup, driving dunk, okay? We got two people watching the video. What's up? I appreciate everybody stopping by on the channel. Like I said, man, you guys absolutely killed it in yesterday's upload on Clay Thompson I'm Convinced series with that video. Appreciate all the support, man. You want to max out the mid-range, the three-pointer, and the free throw, okay? Mikal Bridges is honestly, he's a really good, he's a pretty good scorer, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's not Devin Booker level, he's not, you know, Steph Curry level, he's not like Kevin Durant level, but the guy knows how to score, okay? So yeah, you want to max out all of that. You want to max out pass accuracy and ball handling. Then you want to go to the perimeter defense, the lateral quickness, the steals. You want to max out the blocks, and you want to max out the defensive rebounding, okay? A lot of people say, well, why don't you ever touch offensive rebounding? The only time I ever touch offensive rebounding is if I'm making a big, okay? Normally small forwards, they're grabbing, you know, defensive rebounds, and they're, you know, giving it off to the guard, or they're taking it up court themselves if you're that type of player. Now, the last 40 attribute points, they can go really, I mean, I personally put them on playmaking because I like my playmaking badges. You can get 6 playmaking badges there. You can get 4 shooting badges there. You can get 3 shooting or 3 finishing badges. I just prefer those 6 finishing badges, and then you can put the other 5 on post fade. I don't know, right? So for the badge spread, honestly, this is one of the more lower count badge builds, but don't get this build twisted, okay? The way we're gonna make this build, you can, I mean, depending on who you are, you can use this build for a multitude of things, okay? You're looking at a badge spread of, what is that, 17 plus 28. That's 45 badges. That's actually a good amount of badges. Plus, you don't have to really grind for that many badges, so that's another good thing. Plus, if you're doing a rebirth on this build, if you're 95 overall and above, or is it? No, it's 90 overall and above. My fault, I think. 90 overall, 95. Whatever, okay? This build will be good for you because you don't have to grind out those badges. You know what I'm saying? You could just, you know, play him like he is. Now, Mikal Bridges in real life, he is 6'6", and I think he weighs 205 pounds, 225 pounds, something like that, okay? However, I'm going to make this build 6'6", like Mikal Bridges is in real life, okay? Honestly, height at a certain position doesn't matter anymore. I remember it used to be to where we had like 6'9", 6'10" power forwards, and we still do, but when you look at players like Montrezl Harrell and Draymond Green, who are shorter at that power forward spot, honestly, builds are positionless now. I mean, you got like 6'9", 6'10" point guards like Ben Simmons operating in the game. You got Magic Johnson, who was an older rendition of that taller point guard. Honestly, height doesn't matter at a certain position. Obviously you don't want to be like a 6'3" center because you're going to get bullied, but that's besides the point, okay? 6'6" for the height. You see, you actually get better defensively. Yes, you lose out on blocking, but honestly, the defensive badges for this build, it's not going to really matter, okay? You get better at shooting, your finishing gets a little better, your playmaking gets a little better, so that's cool. Moving on to the weight, I honestly like to drop the weight of my players, okay? Sue me. Yes, you're going to lose out on interior defense, blase, you're going to get bullied if you get in the post with a small forward. What are the chances? They're absolutely slim to none, okay? Unless you have like a post-scoring small forward, really, there's no reason for you to be in the paint anyways unless you're grabbing boards. And at 6'6", you're going to be able to do that. And your player's going to be faster. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, there are one of two ways you can go with this build, okay? Now, like I said, Mikal Bridges is known as a 3-and-D wing player, okay? 3-and-D meaning he can shoot the 3 ball, and D meaning he can play defense, okay? Kind of like Klay Thompson. He's a 3-and-D player, right? Kind of like Dylan Brooks. He's a 3-and-D player, right? On the Memphis Grizzlies. You can go one or two ways. You can max out his wingspan at 87 inches, which is a 7'3" wingspan at 6'6", okay? That's impressive. A 7'3" wingspan. Kevin Durant's wingspan, I think, is like 7 foot, okay? So you're literally going to have arms longer than Kevin Durant at that small forward spot. This is honestly, you could view this as like a Kevin Durant build if you wanted to, but I mean, honestly, Kevin Durant's not that bad of a three-point shooter. We got 3 people watching the video. What's up? Appreciate everybody stopping by. So here's what would happen if you do this. So obviously your defense is going to get a hell of a lot better. You're going to be locking people down. Yeah, your three-point shooting isn't going to be there. Your shooting and all is going to suffer. You're going to get better finishing stats, which is honestly nice. So now, for the takeover, if you chose to go this route, honestly, Mikal Bridges is a lockdown defender. That's what he does at heart. Obviously, this is going to be your perimeter lockdown build, okay? And it's similar to the one and only Mikal Bridges, Chris Mullin, and Paul George, okay? I know we clown Paul George all the time about his performance in the bubble, okay? But this build is honestly low-key underrated, okay? And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna show you why if you decided to go with this. But this is not the build we're going with, okay? Because I love my shooting, okay? So, at 99 overall, this is not what your stats are gonna look like, okay? I don't know why 2K did this. I don't know why they just didn't show you what your stats would look like regardless, Anyways, so at 99 overall, everything goes up +4. So you're looking at a 79 drive and dunk, which is what my facilitating finisher has right now, which is honestly bonkers, which it doesn't make sense. Nothing in 2K makes sense. Okay, 81 mid-range shot. Honestly, out of the gate, that's pretty good. A 78 three-pointer, I've seen people green with like a 50 three-pointer, so you don't have to worry about shooting unless you don't know your jump shot. A 92 free throw rating, which is honestly out of this world. You're really never going to miss at the free throw line unless you don't know your free throw routine. 81 pass accuracy, 75 ball handling. Then you move down to his defense. His defense is his main calling card, okay? 89 perimeter defense, 89 lateral quickness, a 94 steal. There is not a single steal you cannot get in this world with a 72 block rating. And not only that, you're going to have Hall of Fame defensive badges for this build. You are going to have Hall of Fame defensive badges for this build, okay? This build would absolutely be deadly for the people who love spamming the shit out of the square button. Now, like I said, that's not going to be the build we're going to make here. Instead, we're going to drop his wingspan. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh my god, Crazyspartan, why would you drop his wingspan? His defense is going to be absolutely terrible. Again, for one, a 83 steal rating is absolutely good enough. Okay, anything above a 80 in my opinion, because my facilitating finisher actually has a 80 or 81 steal rating, and he gets steals all the time. He doesn't have a problem getting those steals, right? But at 6'6" with a 6'6" wingspan, I mean, that's good enough at that small forward spot. Okay. Your three-point shooting is going to get a whole lot better. Your defense is going to take a little bit of a hit, but not too much to the point to where you're going to be a defensive liability, because with this build, you're not. You're not going to be a defensive liability, okay? Now, moving on to the takeover. Honestly, really all three of these takeovers, except for playmaking, I think would be good, okay? Your ball handling's not good enough to be snatching people's ankles, so if you like taking people's ankles, this build is not for you, okay? Shot creator is a good takeover, especially if you know how to manipulate the dribbling system in this game, which I don't know how to do. I don't really care about dribbling. I just do certain moves to get past the defender and finish at the rim, or either pull up for a jump shot. So shot creator, I don't really have experience with it. I haven't had experience with it since 2K19, 2K20. So there you go. Now, for these last two takeovers, it really does not matter. You can go with the sharp takeover and still be a lockdown defender, or you can go with the lockdown defender takeover and still be a really good three-point shooter. It's all pick your poison at this point. But honestly, to maximize the effectiveness of this build, I'm going to go spot-up shooter. I know that Mikal Bridges, his takeover, I think in real life, if he had a takeover, it'd probably be lock take. But to maximize the effectiveness of this build, I chose sharp. And you get the two-way mid-range shooter, which honestly, that's good enough in its own right. Similar to Mikal Bridges, Chris Mullin, and you get an NBA champion in here with Chris Middleton. Honestly, if namesake is priority number one for you, this build is absolutely deadly, okay? You're looking at an 85 three-point rating, an 89 mid-range shot, and a 92 free throw, along with a 77 ball handling, along with a 75 driving dunk. You're going to be able to get park dunks for this build, so that's pretty good. 87 steal. 86 lateral quickness and perimeter defense. Bro, you're going to be good enough on defense with this build, okay? We're going to get posterizer for our finishing badge, okay? For the playmaking badges, quick first step, space creator, unpluckable. Those are my three go-to badges, okay? For one, quick first step, you're going to beat people off that quick first step more oftentimes than not, unless you're facing like the top 2% of defenders in this game, you're going to blow by them every single time. Okay, with Quick First Step, it's an extremely useful badge to have. Space Creator, for those like jab steps in my career to get you freed up for those 3-point shots to help you out with your badges. Space Creator is a really good badge to have. Unpluckable just increases your chances of not getting stripped by the defender, okay? We all know there are people in this game that love to spam the shit out of that square button, so Unpluckable is a really good badge to have. Now, for that last playmaking badge, it doesn't really matter where you go with it. You can go Hyperdrive, you can go Stop and Go, you can go Downhill if you like that sort of stuff. Really, it doesn't matter, but for me, I prefer Hyperdrive. It just makes you dribble faster on the move. Moving on to the shooting badges, I'm going to say this once, I'm going to say this again. These badges right here, I mean, Catch and Shoot is another useful badge to have, but I honestly feel like, with us having sharpshooting takeover, Green Machine is going to help us out more in the grand scheme of things, because if you know your jump shot, every single time you get a green, your green window is just going to get tighter and tighter and tighter, okay? And, you know, it's going to be easier to green, okay? Set Shooter, Sniper, Deadeye, if y'all don't choose any 3 badges in the game, you choose those 3, in my personal opinion, okay? Now, moving on to the defensive badges. I'm like I said, okay, having a shorter wingspan does not make you a defensive liability, and I'm about to show you why. That is exactly why you are not a defensive liability, okay? Honestly, you can take off Intimidator, you can go Rim Protector, you can go Ankle Braces if you're worried about getting your ankles taken, whatever. You can put on Menace. Really, it doesn't really matter, man. I mean, whatever floats your fancy and tickles your boat. It doesn't matter at this point. But Intimidator is one of those badges I like to have, especially when I can't really get a good contest on the opponent's jump shot. I can just put an arm up, and Intimidator is gonna help me out. So, Clamps, Interceptor, Pickpocket, Chase Down Artist. Okay? Those 4 Hall of Fame badges right there, first of all, nobody is really going to get by you. Okay? Hall of Fame Clamps is extremely, extremely helpful. Okay? I wouldn't say Mikal Bridges is a Hall of Fame defender, like a Dennis Rodman or like a Gary Payton, or like any of those really terrific defenders like Scottie Pippen, like prime Kobe Bryant. But this build right here, it's going to be hard to get by it, okay? Chase Down Artists, extremely useful, especially if you have those play shots who love getting glitchy and they love finishing at the rim. They think they have you beat until they realize you have Chase Down Artists and you can send their shit out of bounds. Pickpocket, extremely useful to have. You're going to have a 6'6" wingspan, so there's no reason for you not to get steals with this build. And then Intimidator and Interceptor, those go hand in hand. I feel like Intimidator is going to help you get a closeout on those opponents' jump shots if you get beat on defense. And then Interceptor is going to help you get in the passing lanes and get those steals, okay? But I hope you guys enjoyed this build video on Mikal Bridges. I know Mikal Bridges isn't like one of the most well-known players in the league, but I feel like he's probably one of the best defenders in the league. I don't think he is the best defender. I'll save that build video for when we do that video on that certain guy. Let me know if y'all let me know if y'all have a guess on who that guy is. Drop a like on this video if you think you know who it is, or comment down below if you think you know who it is. But regardless of that, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If y'all did, y'all drop a like, subscribe to the video if you're new, or subscribe to the channel if you're new, sorry. Turn on your post notifications so that way you don't miss a video when I upload. We got more of these build videos coming soon. I know you guys are wondering where the next video is on the facilitating finisher. it'll be here soon. It'll be here soon. Trust me. We're gonna make the NBA Finals in no time. And then, as far as the slash and playmaker goes, he's a 76 overall. We're progressing in the season on him relatively fine. We're already 15 games in, and we already have a shoot deal for him and everything. So, regardless of that, y'all stay motivated, stay dedicated, always have that Mamba mentality, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace out.